Hello and welcome back to COVID-19 updates. In today's video we are going to be talking about who are the COVID marshals and what powers do they have. COVID secure marshals will be introduced in towns and city centres in England to help ensure social distancing rules are followed, Prime Minister Boris Johnson says. Marshals have already been used in Leeds and Cornwall during the coronavirus pandemic. However, the plans have been criticised. Conservative MP Steve Baker said it would turn every public space in Britain into the equivalent of going through airport security. So, what is a COVID secure marshal and what powers do they have? What's the aim? Mr Johnson said the government and the public want to see stronger enforcement of the rules. In order to do this, he said marshals would be introduced and a register of environmental health officers who councils could use for support would be set up. He added, hospitality venues will be legally required to record the contact details of everyone visiting and to hold them for 21 days. Hospitality venues which fail to follow COVID secure guidelines will be fined. Local authorities will be supported to make greater use of existing powers and to close venues which break the rules. The police will have new powers from the 14th of September to break up and fine groups of more than 6 people. So who will the marshals be? The government said marshals can either be volunteers or existing members of council staff. The local government association, the LGA, said any new responsibilities for councils in the area will have to be fully funded, but there has been no funding announced by the government. The Ministry for Housing, Communities and Local Government told the BBC that some areas of the country have already introduced marshals and it would see where else they were needed. Leeds City Council told the BBC it had introduced six night marshals who were in place over 4 weeks and who did not have any enforcement powers. It said these marshals were positively welcomed by our businesses as necessary and effective in supporting the evening and nighttime economy to reopen safely. In Cornwall, street marshals were introduced in Camborne, Helston and Newquay, Redruth, St Austell, St Ives and Truro in July. The council said that they would be present during the busiest times of the day to give friendly help and guidance to those visiting and working the area. So that's it. What powers do they have? The government has still set out the details of what marshals will do and says that its decisions will be a matter for local authorities. In areas where marshals have already been introduced, they have done things like giving out hand sanitizer and face coverings, answered questions and explained social distancing guidelines to members of the public. Marshals do not have power to enforce social distancing or to issue fines to anyone who breaks the rules, but the government says they can tell the police if enforcement action is needed. Who will enforce the rules for hospitality venues? Mr Johnson spoke about the need for stricter enforcement of the rules for hospitality venues like pubs and restaurants. Regulation of these premises is a role for local authorities and the Health and Safety Executive, the HSE, but there have been concerns about a lack of resources. Data provided by the HSE shows that between the beginning of the pandemic in March and 6th of September, there have been 14,934 spot checks that have been carried out. Formal action have been taken in 2,541 cases, 2,034 have received verbal advice, and 432 written correspondence and 75 enforcement notices have been issued. To bolster this work, the government announced it would set up a register of environmental health officers that the councils could call upon, but it is yet to release further details. The LGA said given the shortage of environmental health officers, it is positive that the government has committed to a register. So that's it. I know I said that's it before, but that's actually the end of the video. I know it was really short, but I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope it was very informative for you. If you have any other questions, please do leave them in the comment section and I will try and answer them in the best way that I possibly can. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Stay safe. Please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And yeah.